My name is Rebecca Moore. I'm from Pictou Landing First Nations, but I've always lived in Halifax. I've been involved with the urban Aboriginal community of Halifax for many years. Down the Friendship Center, they have an awesome youth program that I've been a part of for a long time. I'm going to tell you a bit about my involvement in Idle No More and a bit about what it means to me and why treaties are important to me. And anyhow, so when I first heard of Bill C-45 and what it was doing to us, not just as First Nations, which was offensive, them taking our rights away without consultation, without any words, just, it was like one day I found out that my treaty rights are being taken away. That's exactly what it was. And I was always so proud of those treaty rights. Because here in Nova Scotia, in Halifax, Mi'kmaq, we celebrate Treaty Day every year, October 1st. And that's the first peace treaty between the British, the Crown, and the Mi'kmaq people. And that treaty was signed by my great, I don't know how many greats, grandfather, Jean-Baptiste Cook. And so I'm a direct descendant of him. And I was always so proud of that. And you know, I would practice my treaty rights. I would go bending down the waterfront because part of my treaty rights allowed me to go down there and sell. I used to do henna work, and I make jewelry, and I could go down there and sell my things without having a vending license, for example. So that's the treaty rights that I would practice every summer, and that was like good extra money in my pocket for me. So it was a bit of way of life. You know, I stocked my fridge with my treaty rights, so to speak, like for a couple of years there, and sometimes. And so when I found out that my treaty rights were getting taken away, that was really personal. And there's no way that I'm just going to stand by and let that happen and be idle, you know? So there was a rally here in Halifax. I forget what the exact date was. A bunch of friends of mine and I got together, and we had this amazing rally. I'm not sure, I bet a lot of you were there. That was one of the best rallies. Like we do the same march for Treaty Day, but it even had more spirit than that because we're defending those very treaties that we celebrate. We marched down the same route from St. Mary's Basilica down to Parade Square drumming, and I don't think I've ever heard us drum and sing that loud before, not even on Treaty Day. And it's because everybody knew how important this was. And so after that, there was a rally on Parliament Hill, and I wanted to be there and ensure a Mi'kmaq presence was there on that hill that day because there was First Nations people traveling from all over Canada and even from the United States coming up. And it was really, really bad weather, and it was a kind of bad time, December 21st. Holidays were coming up and whatnot, but two of my sisters, Sarah and Courtney, and myself and this woman, she was our driver, her name's Conrad. Anyway, we all drove to Ottawa overnight, and we stayed there just for that day, just for that one rally on Parliament Hill. And to feel the energy that was on Parliament Hill, the unity, it was amazing. I really feel like this movement and the Bill C-45, it has awakened us. And I really felt that when I was out there in Ottawa because I don't feel like all our nations as Aboriginal people and even non-Aboriginal people, I never felt so much like such a strong unity before. Everybody marching together, traveling together, there for the same reasons. Everybody, you know, chanting with their whole hearts into it. And everybody really knowing why they were there and just everybody there for the same common purpose. It was amazing. And I never really experienced anything like that before. I've been involved with a lot of things, but this is different. This has a really strong urgency to it, this issue. And we all know that Bill C-45 is not something that just affects me and my treaty rights as a First Nations, but it does affect the environment of Canada, and it will affect everybody because, you know, you guys, non-First Nations people, you have to live off the land too, you know. You have to drink the water too. So will your children. So will mine. And So then after that, we came back from Ottawa, and I met some friends from Saskatchewan, and I stayed in touch with them, and they told me, we were just keeping in touch, and they would tell me what was going on in Saskatchewan, and I would tell them what we're doing here in Nova Scotia. And she told me that they were planning a 4-day fast in solidarity with Teresa Spence. So I thought that sounded like a great idea. I texted Marina, who told Shelley, who made it happen. And there was people fasting in Eskasoni and in Millbrook. We were in Millbrook. And there were people in Ontario fasting, in Saskatchewan, in BC. So there was First Nations people fasting all over the country at the same time. And fasting, it's not like, I don't want to get it confused with Teresa Spence's hunger strike. We were fasting in solidarity with her, but fasting it's more ceremonial, and the main purpose of fasting is it's a self-sacrifice, and you pray those 4 days. So we were living in a teepee out in Millbrook, and we weren't drinking water and we weren't eating for 4 whole days. And we were pretty much, all we were doing while we were awake was keeping the fire going and making prayer ties and praying and praying and praying for 4 whole days. And at the end of it, we had thousands and thousands, of prayer ties that everybody made, and we offered them to the sacred fire after. And that was our offering, those were our prayers. And because we were all praying for our government, we were all praying for Stephen Harper, we were all praying that, he realizes what he's doing. We were praying for Teresa Spence because we all know that she hasn't been well. And so we were praying for her. We were praying for Mother Earth. We were praying for our future generations. We were praying for pretty much the whole world for days. And that was probably the hardest experience of my life. Or one of the most tough and the most rugged. Because, 4 days, no food, no water, and no showering, no nothing, no technology. You're away and you're just praying. And some people were kind of confused as to what we were doing, even in Millbrook. Well, not confused, they knew what we were doing, but people really believed what we were doing when we had a couple signs. It was a very spiritual experience, and I remember we had a lot of visitors coming and going during the 4 days, so that helped the time pass. But on our second day, there were 7 eagles flying above our teepee, 7 of them. And that's extremely rare, and I don't think anybody out there in Millbrook ever seen anything like that before. And if you guys know anything about Mi'kmaq culture, eagles are the most sacred because they fly the highest in the sky, and they go in between worlds and they carry messages from our world to the spirit world. So for 7 of them to be up flying all around us while we were there to pray, doing our fast for 4 days, it really moved us, and it was like it was an omen showing us and telling us that what we're doing is right, that what we were there for was right, that our prayers were being heard, that they're listening. And the number 7 is special because I'm not sure if you guys are aware of the 7th generation prophecies, but that's our generation. That's us right now. That's me. And I think that the 7 eagles was definitely a sign. So now I'm back, and we got done fasting on New Year's Eve. That's when I was done. That's when I came back to Halifax. And I could eat again and everything went back to normal. But I still stay. I help do this mural. I'm here. I'm still going to help spread the word of I Don't Know More and do anything that I can for this I Don't Know More movement. And I will continue to sacrifice everything that I have, really, and all my energy until we get our rights back and until he realizes what he's doing. Because this really is our country, and it's a democracy, not a dictatorship. And be stopped. And, you know, he hears us. We know he does. And we have a loud voice. And I think that we need to keep doing what we're doing and keep applying the pressure, because he can't ignore us. Like, our movement's gone international. And we need to stay strong and keep going and keep momentum up. Thank you.